Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Today we're continuing the story, well, the kind of love story that happened to me back in 1999 and why I ended up here in Thailand. The old snooker club, KFC, Lonely Planet love story. So I'll also be answering a few of the questions that I get quite often on this channel, walking around back. So we'll address those. So yes, if you haven't seen the first part of the story, it's a couple of videos ago. I'll leave a link to it up there somewhere. But I'd basically travelled to Thailand as a backpacker, fell in love, and yeah, the story continues. So my trip finished. I returned to the UK, year 2000, January. Awful weather. It is awful in January, February time in the UK, as all of you British citizens will know. It was horrible. I'd just fallen in love. With Thailand and a lady. All I wanted to do was get back. And if any of you have been in a similar situation, you know what I mean. Right, that's a bit better. Found a nice little alleyway. So yeah, I was back in the UK and I had a few things going on. Now I do get questions about how I came out to Thailand so young. I was able to finance myself. I was involved in the buy-to-let thing going on in the 90s, and if anyone knows about the property markets back in the UK, yeah, the 90s and the noughties, everything kind of skyrocketed. So I was lucky there, and we were in the old Chinese part of Dak here. We've got some fantastic old buildings. Must be a couple of 100 years old. Beautiful. Yeah, later on a few investments, but I think property is the way to go if you can. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Steady Eddie property investments. I know a lot of guys made a lot of money off the Bitcoin crypto thing, and but yeah, I mean, it's up and down like a tart Snickers, the stock market, especially 2008, then the COVID crisis, and now Putin's messing about in Ukraine. It always goes up eventually, well, hopefully. That's kind of the way to look at it long term, but everyone's situation is different, so I'm not going to preach about what anyone should do. But I had things going on, and I didn't move to Thailand full time permanently until 2009. So it was the crystal ball. I could see myself living here, and the weather was bloody awful. So continuing the story, although I was kind of self-sufficient, I needed something to do. Hello. I didn't want to just come and sort of bum around, so I did a TESOL course, which is like a TEFL, but it was a proper certificate in central London. It was scary. I had to stand up in front of the classroom, did it, quite enjoyed it. So I got that. On the phone to the girlfriend every night, running up phone bills, and headed off back to Thailand with my TESOL in hand. And yeah, it wasn't easy to run things as it is now. Stuff that I had going on in the UK, but it was possible. So yeah, we ended up traveling around when I arrived back in 2000, all around the north. Unbelievably, I haven't been south of Bangkok. I don't know why, I'm just not into beaches. And I just don't like getting sand in certain areas, and I don't know, I will have to go and visit these places one day. But anyway, we travelled all around the north, and it was quite an experience, get to know each other. But it was still the honeymoon phase. The only decision you had to make was what you're going to eat, what movie you're going to watch. And then we headed to Bangkok, and I got a job for a very good school, a little private school in Bang Na, not far from Central there. And it was good money. It was 45,000 a month. Had a nice little condo, but I didn't like living in Bangkok. It was very noisy. We lived right on a junction, and I just, after 4 months, had enough. So we headed north to Chiang Mai, got another little teaching job didn't get on with the owner of the school. Actually ended up nearly having a fight with him. And we decided to come to Dak because my wife had family here just to have a look. Had no intentions of staying here. And stayed with some family just outside of Dak Down near Lansang. And it was lovely. We did come into Dak Down a few times to pick up some food. And on those little visits to get somtam, and there was no Tesco, there was no Big C, there was one 7-Eleven, I remember. We kind of liked it. We went to the River Ping, we went to the bridge, what's it called, the suspension bridge there, and it was just, had a nice feel about it. So that's where the seed was planted, staying here in Dak. Now, I'm getting hot. This story is going to continue. Because a lot has happened since then. Yeah, a few memories there. Yeah, things did, it wasn't all roses, to be honest with you. Had a lot of good times, but I might dwell on the issues that I had because it could be useful to some of you. You might recognise this place. We had a look at this, 16 million baht, a couple of years ago, and yeah, it hasn't shifted. It's a shame. It used to be absolutely spotless in here. The gardens used to be kept to a very high standard. Not a surprise really, it was pretty pricey for Dak Town. Now another question I get, or comment, is about buying me a coffee and Patreon and membership and things like that. Howdy ho. I'll espresso yen one noi. Keo leg. Yeah, pretty cool little coffee shop. Well, I bought my own coffee, but I do appreciate guys that have offered. And I know a lot of channels do the PayPal, Patreon, PayPal, buy me coffee, beer thing. I got nothing against that at all. I mean, most of the vloggers here are a good bunch, and there are a few e-beggars with their hands out, but they don't often last. And but I don't really. Well, I'm not in this for the money. I mean, I do take money off YouTube, but I don't like them. They're a bunch of heathens. I don't like any of the social media platforms. Well, they're all owned by Google, YouTube and all that, Facebook. So yeah, they were nice to me in January, February, and it's kind of a love-hate relationship. They give me the opportunity to indulge in my video making, which, yeah, it's kind of a hobby. I like doing it. Nice bit of chicken there. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy you guys click on the videos and like them or dislike them, whatever. And as for membership, I've got no idea what I could offer. Where did I park? I think I parked in the bank. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you've got to offer something, haven't you, for membership? And I'm not going to bullshit anyone. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing from 1 week to the next. So yeah, unless I do some kind of up the ladder action in the garden with my boxes on, maybe a few revealing angles, I'm not going to bother. But I do appreciate you guys who yeah, said I should do that. Anyway, here we are. So we'll just keep things as they are. Alright, time for a massage. Now, I haven't spoken or seen my massage lady, who's nearly 90. I wasn't even sure she's still alive, to be honest, this morning. I gave her a call. She sounded nice and perky. What's this dude doing, man? You're on my side of the road, son. What are you doing? Goodness me. Anyway, yeah, can be stressful driving in Thailand, so massage is a good call. So we're going to head down there and yeah, see how she's getting on. Alright, well, I haven't been here since before the pandemic. Looks like there's a little bit of work going on at the temple there. And if you saw a video I did, I think it was just, yeah, literally a month before everything kicked off. this little alleyway here. Which, yeah, start relaxing as soon as I walk down here because I know what's coming. But I can see some long grass, and I've got the well, wrong type of footwear. I forgot. I've seen a few little snakes down here, right by the river. Oh, it's not too bad. There's a little path. In fact, nothing has changed. This house did have people in it for a few years, but it's abandoned now, and everyone is very close together. Here we go. Looks like we got some neighbours this time. Howdy, cow yai. À, sวัสดีค่ะ 2 ปีไม่เห็นนะ
2 ปีเนาะ
ใช่2 ปีเป็นยังไงบ้าง
เขาอยู่ไหนมา
อยู่บ้าน
อยู่สวีเดน
กลัวโควิดอ่ะ
ลูกสาวเรียนจบแล้วยัง
ยังไม่จบ
ยังไม่จบ
อีก2 เดือน
อาม่าไม่มาเหรอ
ไม่มานะอยู่พิโลกใช่อยู่โรงเรียนพิโลก
หนูไปจากพิโลกแหละ
ใช่
ลืมยายอุ่นเรือนไปแล้วนั่นเนี่ย
ไม่เลย
นี่ยังไม่เที่ยงอีกเท่าไหร่เลย
ยังไม่ถึงประมาณอีก3 นาที
โอ้พอดีเลย
ใช่
พอดีเลยอู้ยตึงมากเลย
อ๋อใช่2 ปีไม่นวดถึงมากๆเหมือนคนแก่นะ
ใช่
ทอง
ก็คือจับเส้นเนาะ
ใช่ใช่
เรามันหมอเส้นไม่ใช่หมอนวดขยำอย่างนี้ที่ไหนนะ
ใช่
คนตะกี้ก็บอกว่า
ใช่ยายมีความรู้
ดังแหละตรงเป๊ะเลย
ถึงแล้วโอ
ท่าน
เค
ท่านจะบอกแล้วฝรั่งเขาจะมาให้ตรงเวลา
Alright
นั่นแหละ
I'm gonna continue my Thai lesson chaps
ท่านกินข้าวแล้วนั่นเนี่ย
โอ้
รีบกินข้าวเที่ยงเลยกิน
ยัง
แล้ว
ยังไม่กินเลี้ยงกินข้าวเลี้ยง
กินแล้ว
กินไข่ต้มเหรอ
ข้าวไข่ต้ม
ยายชอบกินไข่ต้มกับเฮ็ดเรื่องด้วยแล้ว
2 hours later.
Oh, I fell asleep. 2 hours 2 ชั่วโมง
2 ชั่วโมง
Yeah. Oh,
เดี๋ยวก็ดังกันเนาะ
โอ้ร่างป่านเป็นสวยนะแม่น้ำเพลงมีน้ำเยอะ
มีน้ำเยอะ
ใช่
ว่ายไม่
โอ้ passed out
ได้ปิงก็ว่ายได้นะ
โอเค
ปิดพัดลมอายุมัน
ถึงแล้ว
พอดีเลย
There you go. Look at that. Kakamaka. Nice little spirit house there. Yeah, this place has been empty for a while. I wonder how much it goes for. A month. It's a 2-story place. I don't know. You'd have a massage person on your doorstep, a massage lady. Lovely lady actually. We generally talk about the same thing every time I go there, but she does help me with my Thai. And yeah, it doesn't seem like 2 years. I'm not sure it's 2 years. I think I was here in March 2020, just before it really kicked off, beginning of March, end of February. So, the monks are looking busy here at the front of the temple. Doing a bit of paintwork. It's a beautiful little temple this. I had a little look around it in one of my first videos. But this road, you gotta watch it. You come out from having a massage, you got cars whizzing along here. They put a 50 speed limit here, but I don't know if I don't think anyone pays attention to it. I don't know, yeah, I feel a bit stoned after that massage, to be honest with you. Anyway, yeah, I get comments about my background. I don't know, maybe my accent is a little bit confusing to some of you. I am from a working class background in London. My mother was from the Outer Hebrides in Scotland actually, and my dad was a London boy, both from working class backgrounds, but my dad was actually a session musician who made good money. Most of you would have heard him actually. He was on James Bond movies, the Parkinson shows, the Come Dancing, Wogan, Benny Hill, Paul McCartney albums. He did a few of those, so they made good money. But most musicians, and he used to say to me, would piss their money up the wall, and he didn't. He was a very good father, and one of the few musicians that were kind of wise with the money that was made back in those days. I mean, there's no music business now really. Everything's done on computer, but he managed to put us through private schools. So I come from a working class background, but I've seen the other side. But I mean, it doesn't make me better than anyone else. There's positives and negatives to both, but so working class background, but had the chance, thanks to my dad, to have a good education. So there you go. So big shout out to my parents, who always supported what I was doing out here and been great with Annie. I remember them coming out actually before I put the soil down for this place and standing right there. I'd actually done a little string plan of the house where the rooms are going to be, and he said to me, like his father said before he bought his first house in London, "Are you sure about this, mate?" And I remember standing there going, "Yeah," and I was. And it's a small world, isn't it? His father, my grandfather, was fighting the Japanese about 200 kilometres, not even that, 150 kilometres over there. Hated being away. He missed the birth of my dad back in 1939, and then we were both standing there, not too far away. And it's funny the places you find where you end up in, isn't it? As I said in the previous video, I often say that to myself. Alright, there you go. A little bit stoned after that massage. 2 hours is quite a long one, and she does have magic hands. And unbelievably, I can't believe she's nearly 90. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. It was kind of a mix and match of the story of how I arrived here and questions that I get or comments that I get in the comment section. So it has been a lot of ups and downs, my journey here in Thailand, and I will continue the story and also kind of go over the issues that I had, especially to do with marriage, not just the issues I had, Westerner or Farang being married here, also the issues that my wife had being married to a Farang. So I'll be touching on those on future videos. We'll be continuing the story and also addressing comments that I get. It's quite a good way to do it with a walkabout, and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm gonna have to drink some water. I don't know, I feel like I've been in the pub. But anyway, on that note, I'll say stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next video.